Wilson,
Here.
Kirkpatrick,
Here.
Babcock, Reed,
Here.
Morris.
Item 2 on the agenda is consent agenda. The following items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all these items. Consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. A, minutes of the August 9th, 2021 special meeting. B, treasurer's report. C, encumbrances of general fund, building fund, and child nutrition fund. Appendix A. D, signing warrants for general fund, building fund, child nutrition fund. E, activity and fund reports.
Make a motion. Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 3, board discussion and possible action on any items removed from the consent agenda.
Action date on
All right. Item 4, information report, no action. A, attendance report.
Okay, school bond is tomorrow. We have sent out 3 different flyers and to remind people to go register to vote and what was on the bond. So that's about all we can do. So don't forget to go vote.
And we did, had a lot of kids enter the Woods County Fair, which was this past weekend. We had a huge list of winners. We had 6 of our kids that placed in the livestock shows, anywhere from breed champion to, I think the lowest we got was the fourth place in a class division. But all of our kids did really, really well. Went over and looked at their things that they entered for competition for 4-H and RFFA in the women's building and the poultry building. And they did really well in those areas as well. We had several that won first place and that are going on to state. And we had kids winning, gosh, 6, 7, 8 different awards from all the different things that they were involved in. Jimmy, Paisley, Paige, Shay, Reagan, Jack, Anna, June, Landon, JC, Andy, Kate, Katie, Brooklyn, both of our Brooklyns, Andy and Michael Page. They all won at least one thing while they were over there. So very proud of them. They worked hard. I did get to see we have 3 students that did horse riding, our Wilson kids, and they all did very well with that as well, so it was good to see.
Head Start.
Oh, well, I didn't see them there. They weren't in the riding that I was there on, so I guess the Stearns weren't in it as well, but not when I was there, so they all did a great job. We have parent-teacher conferences coming up on October 11th and 12th. They are normally from 4 to 7 in the past, but since our school schedule has changed, we're moving those to 3:30 to 6:30, both those evenings. We will be off the following Monday due to that. The reason we did the Monday is because we're already off that Thursday and Friday for fall break. So the 14th and 15th, we're out for fall break, and then the 18th, we're out to make up the day that we were here for parent-teacher conferences. So.
Item 5, board discussion, possible action to enter into executive session to discuss the evaluation of Mrs. Williams Burgess, superintendent, in accordance with provisions 25 OS 307B1.
motion, Russell.
You make a
Yes,
motion to
Russell.
enter in executive session? I second.
Okay.
Wilson,
What are we, just for the time?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
7:08.
Yep.
And we're going to- Did you complete your duty?
I did. Well, somebody's there taking care of stuff, so I did.
Back in session at 7:42. Item 6, vote to acknowledge.
Do we have,
board
we
return.
need a second on that.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Item 7, executive session compliance announcements.
Be none.
None. Item 8, discussion and possible action on superintendent's evaluation. No action. Item 9, board discussion, possible action on FY '22 estimate of needs.
No action on that. We'll have to have a special board meeting when Mr. Carroll gets us that.
Correct. Item 10, presentation of ACT community input by Principal Michelle Sheila.
Every year, we have to put out information to our school community, letting them know that we have chosen the ACT as a test option for our students for the state testing. We put that on Facebook, put out a survey monkey for them to do. We had one other person besides a staff member fill it out that was against it because they thought we should do a career test to see where they are in the career fields and where they would go. What they don't know is we do that every year as well. We test the sophomores usually, and it's the ASVAB test, which does the career aspect of it as well. So we do take care of that, so hopefully they will realize that that is done too. But we have chosen the ACT, and we will go forward with that since we haven't had any input.
Does that person have a sophomore so that they would know that they were taking?
I have no idea who it was. It was somebody that said they don't live in town. So I don't know if it's somebody that lives out on the farm or where they live. It doesn't have any
And we'll get
way to
the
contact them.
ASVAB in October?
No, it's actually the 22nd, I believe. No, it's the 15th. It's the 15th, this Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Mhm.
So we might put something out on our social media that we're giving the ASVAB and this is what it does, so
Yeah,
that they
we
will.
do that. Because that's not something we advertise, we just do it, so.
Well,
That'd
since
be a good
somebody brought
idea.
that up.
Yeah, very good
I would
idea.
do it.
But that's done sophomore year.
Usually, yeah.
Yes.
Last year, we tested our sophomores, juniors, and seniors, because there were some of them that wanted to retake it. So we just, because that's something they can retake and see how much they've advanced in certain areas. This year, I have one junior that wants to retake it, but all the rest are sophomores. So,
Item 11, presentation of the college career readiness and dropout report by the principal, Michelle Sheila.
if you'll look in your documents, you'll see a document that's put out by the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. What it does is take our high school graduates from 2018, and it shows, so sorry, it's silent. Shows that we had 4 students that would have been freshmen that year. Because our numbers are less than 10, of course, we don't have any data, which is the same problem we have with almost everything we get from the State Department. We have had several students from here going to college since I have gotten here. We have several that will be graduating this year from Northwestern. So I can think of at least 3 or 4 that will be graduating this year from Northwestern.
Did we have any dropouts?
We have not had it from the school, we have not had any dropouts, but from college, we have had 2 students that I know that have not gone back to college. My understanding, one of those is doing some online this year, but I don't know that for a fact.
Item 12, board discussion, possible action on extra duty compensation of $20 per hour for employees working the reading and enrichment program set up through the library grant. Who's doing that?
Ms. Roberts. What do you say on me? Yes, so I would recommend that we do that.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yes.
Is that a motion?
No, I can't make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 13, board discussion, possible action on an extra duty contract in the amount of $1,590 for Michelle Sheelat for alternative education.
I would recommend doing so. Ms. Sheila does most of the work with the alternative ed kids, so I think she should get that extra duty contract.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 14, board discussion and possible action to designate Ms. Sheelat, Mr. Weber, and Ms. Strell as a residency committee for certified resident teacher Jennifer Rankin.
This is required by state law and State Board of Education that when you have a first-year teacher, that you designate a residency committee for them. And so I would recommend designating those two people to Mrs. Rankin and Mr.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Wilson, would you second that, please?
Sure. A second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Babcock, I'm sorry, Reed. I wasn't calling you him, I was taking his vote, but he's not here to vote.
Yes.
Item 15, board review and discussion and possible action on field trip to Medicine Lodge Peace Treaty on September the 24th, all day for pre-K to 12th grade and teachers.
I make that recommendation. If we allow that field trip.
This is something that we've done in the past, isn't it?
It's the first time we've done it since I've been here, I think
Yeah.
probably ever. It's something they only do once every 2 or 3 years, I think it's 3 for some reason. Our library grant is paying for that. So it gives our kids an opportunity to go up and watch the Peace Tree pageant and see the stockade and the Carrie Nation home and things like that, get a little bit of history.
And of course, they do know who Carrie Nation is, correct?
I doubt they do yet, but they will before long.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 16, board review and discussion and possible action on 2008 Dodge 5500 pickup.
I would recommend that we surplus the 2008 Dodge pickup. The DEF system is going out, and by law, we cannot, being a school, we can't bypass that. And we've already put several $1,000s in it over the last 2 or 3 years, and so I would make that recommendation that we surplus it.
Make a motion. Phil, you can second this
I
one.
can second it. All right, I'll second it. Item 17, board
We
review.
have to vote, Phil.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 17, board review and discussion, possible action on 2013 Ford 3500 pickup.
Same thing, the air conditioner's out, they've already spent over $5,000 on that air conditioner. And who did the repairs on that air conditioner?
The one that actually got it fixed correctly was the Chevy dealership in Allen. Ford tore it apart and couldn't figure out where the leak was, so then we took it to the Chevy house.
Was there any kind of a warranty with it that
It was not.
I would recommend surplusing that vehicle?
So who paid, did we pay Ford anything?
Yes, Ford was about, I want to say 1,300 somewhere in there, and then the Chevy,
Why did we pay them if they didn't fix it?
because they sent it out and it was fixed, supposedly, they recharged it at that time, and the superintendent said, well, it was fixed at that time, so they paid him. It lasted about 2 weeks, and then it was down again. And they took it back in, and they said, we can't find where it's leaking, so we had to find somewhere else to take it. Ended up being a leak up underneath the dash, that Chevy dealership had to pull the whole dash out to get to the leak.
What did they charge? You know, right off
That
here.
was close to 4,000.
And when was that?
Mr. Miller, last year would have been
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
And we hadn't had air conditioning in it?
No, it's worked since then.
Okay.
It just went out again this summer.
Oh.
It set most of the summer, and then Brian went to go get in, to take it somewhere, and the AC was not working again.
So it might just need charged.
It may need charge, we don't know for sure.
So can, like a vehicle like that, with not very many miles, you put them on surplus, can you take them and set them somewhere and sell them too, like, or do you have to take bids? How does that work?
Well, you can leave that up to me how to do it.
Okay.
But yes, we can go out on bids, we can take it to an auction, we can have our own auction. There are several different ways we can sell it.
Could we check, see if it could be recharged?
Yes.
I mean, it would bring, whatever we done with it, it'd bring a lot more if the air conditioner was working.
Yeah.
Item 18, board review discussion, possible action on 2006.
We got a vote.
Well, so we didn't have a
Are we
vote.
going to surplus or?
Okay. On 17, can I have a motion to sell the surplus stuff?
Make the motion. I'll second.
Wilson?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Item 18, board review discussion, possible action on 2006 Chevy Suburban.
This was the Suburban that was wrecked and not fixed. So I would recommend that we surplus it.
I'll make the motion, we surplus it. Second.
Wilson?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Item 19, board review and discussion, possible action on 1999 bumper pull stock trailer.
This is the old ag trailer, pig trailer, and it has been used maybe once a year, so it's something that's not really used a lot. So I would recommend surplus of that.
So moved. Second.
Wilson?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Item 20, board review, discussion, possible action on 2001 3500 minibuses.
And we don't need that many minibuses. We don't have only one person within the district that has a CDL, and so I recommend surplusing those 2 minibuses.
I'll make the motion.
A second. Item 21, board review.
I gotta do it both, Phil. Wilson?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Item 21, board review and discussion and possible action to give superintendent authority to dispose of the surplus items as the deem fit.
And I'm open for discussion, however you would like to dispose of them, but I'll be up here in a week or so and we'll talk about how we can get rid of them. We might talk more when we do the special meeting for the estimate of needs, so if you have suggestions, just let me know. But there are several ways to dispose of them. And we want to do whatever we get the most money out of. So, do I have a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 22, board review, discussion, and possible action to set up an account for the class of 2028.
I move that we do set up an account in the activity account for the class of 2028.
So move.
I second.
Wilson.
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Item 23, board to sign document, documents.
Do we have any checks or anything that have to sign?
No, just-
Is that all we got?
And motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
7:58. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Has anybody heard from Mr. Babcock? How's he doing?
I haven't heard from him.
Wilson,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Reed.